Hey everyone, welcome to Chapter 16 of my Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Master Ninja video guide and walkthrough. This is the Underworld Abyss. This is a very I really enjoyed this level. It's a very it reminds me a lot of Contra Shattered Soldier, one of my favorite games, one of my favorite Contra games. So anyway, this shop right here, this is the only shop in the whole stage. And it's not a long stage, but this is the only the only shop that there is. So I decided not even to upgrade a weapon. I don't even care at this point. So I would just recommend maxing all your weapons. All your items here. Just max them all up. Max out everything. Don't worry about spending money because we're going to be making quite a bit of money on this stage. So this first wave here. These guys here, I fucking hate these guys. These lesser fiends, this is really hard. These guys are way harder than any of the other, like, ninjas and melee ninjas. Even harder than the mages, I think. I don't know. Because the mages, at least you can execute them easier. So there is a nice checkpoint after the next battle. So I just like the stage. It's really simply designed, but it's really, it looks kind of like a lot of alien kind of things going on, and a lot of weird kind of underground stuff happening. So we're in some kind of an underworld abyss, and so at this point here, this is not money grinding. This is just trying to beat these fuckers here, and it's so hard to even get a blue charge, let alone a red charge. If you get a red charge, you're really in luck. You can deal a lot of damage to these guys and kill a bunch of these motherfuckers. But it's hard just to even get a blue charge. I'm gonna be honest about it. These guys are really fucking hard. They've got to be my most hated enemy right here. Gotta be. And just be thank God you're not Rachel again, because her chapter is horrible. So at least you're a fast character versus fast foes here. So the Art of the Wind Blades, if you don't care about trying to get any money whatsoever, just use Ninpo. I used it there to get some health back from those blue orb drops. So pretty much I don't like this part of the level. Like everything after this I don't mind. I like this level. I enjoy it. I like how it's just like down the straight path at first, and then you go like underground a little later on. So that door opens, and now we have scratch what I said. I don't like this part either. This part fucking sucks too. Everything past this part. So I'm equipping the Endless Fang here because most of all this is just about survival. Once again here, you got chainsaw bazooka enemies on each side of you, on both sides where the door is. So I like to at least take one of these guys down. Now the chainsaw bazooka zombies on the other side, they will pretty much ignore you, provided like you just don't pay them any attention and you just like hang on to the other side. These guys it could be really a hassle. I was lucky I got that hit in. Just be thankful that those zombies on the other side just don't even pay attention to you. I think if you just stay on the other side of the path, they pretty much just don't do anything. If you near them, they will start to shoot cannonballs at you, and then it's just kind of I tried to do a lot of money grinding with the dragon sword here. It just I kept dying, and you have to restart at the beginning and get Wolf's Heart all over again. Go shopping, do the little cinematic, and then get here. It's not worth it to money grind here. This is just about just clearing this section, because after this, there's going to be a checkpoint, and it's a nice, convenient checkpoint. So just do your best here, and then after that, do your best again, and just be nice. Just be thankful you have a checkpoint to fall back on. So these are the only guys you got to clear. They're pretty easy with the Endless Fang with the red UT here. And we're going to have to fight some Tengu brothers, but fortunately, we have that checkpoint to fall back on. And the Tengu brothers fight is pretty difficult. I passed it like I did it on like a breeze run. I passed it so easily. And then I got to where the save statue was, I set my controller down for a second, and then the wave of enemies after the save point triggered. The save statue dimmed, so I had to fall back to the checkpoint. It was just, and then I couldn't beat the Tengu brothers, and it was really problematic. So I'll show you how to prevent that from happening. But all you really need to do is, once you see that save point, just hit the circle button really quick. Because a lot of the times when I'm recording these videos, like, I'll get to a save statue, but then I won't save it right away until I know that my video recorded and I ended the recording. And because if you get to a save point, like, you can't restart unless you restart the chapter. So try to get a red UT. It's not really difficult to get a red UT right off the bat. Just head on to that area where I did. Prepare your charge. Once you kill one of the melee ninjas, as you saw right there, the other one spawned like right out of there, out of thin air. It's really fucking problematic. But so these guys are a lot less difficult than the lesser fiends because they don't rush you so much. They don't get on your ass constantly. At least you could space yourself out from these enemies a lot more. So at this point, this is money grinding. So I'm truly getting all the red UTs that I can because I know I wasted quite a bit of money on items at the store. And so that's why that's the case. There's only 2 melee ninjas to worry about, and then there's just all it is after that is just these red ninjas here. These guys are extremely easy, nothing to fear whatsoever. But remember that after you do kill these guys, the Tengu brothers are going to drop in, and that fight's difficult because it's just this area is difficult, and if they trap you into a corner, you could really start screwing up badly. It would be nice if there's a checkpoint at the Tengu brothers fight, but just like in the Wolf fight in the previous chapter, like, they kind of jump right into the scene. There's no cinematic, so I think that's one of the reasons why a checkpoint wasn't possible. You know, there's some limitations in this game. So right there, that's a true Dragon Gleam, one of my favorite moves. I'll be doing that quite a bit on the next wave, just for pure fun, pure enjoyment. So I'm switching to the Endless Fang here and the Art of the Inferno. Because I'm going to try to do some area damage right off the bat when these guys jump in. Just get a couple, at least like one there. So that takes significant damage off. And the reason I'm using the Inferno rather than the Piercing Void is that the Piercing Void, like, when I try to press the triangle and circle buttons, like, it keeps like not recognizing that I'm pressing those buttons. So I'm getting really jacked up by trying to. The game thinks I'm trying to press the buttons, like, for combos, not the activating the Ninpo buttons. So with the Inferno, for some reason, it seems like the game recognizes that you're trying to press those buttons more often. I really don't know. It's badly designed. There should be a button that you can assign for the Ninpo if you don't want to have to press those two buttons simultaneously. So if you're doing the red UT hits on these guys, it just deals a massive amount of damage, and hopefully you can hit them both in one shot. Try to absorb that blue essence. So it could be pretty tricky. What usually happened here is that they would grab me or something would really go wrong, and I would have to use my Talisman of Rebirth. So then I would have to. That would be unacceptable to me because there's no way in hell that I'm going to have to waste one of those items like on anything other than the final boss fight of a stage. So I would just allow myself to be killed. And, this really came down to the fucking wire. And it seems like that's the case whenever you're really wanting something to happen, Like, if you mess up and then you're trying to redo footage, it really starts to get on your nerves. Anyway, there's a save statue down there, but there's going to be a small group of enemies here to fight. They're not that bad. There's a melee ninja on the heels of all these red ninjas here. And pretty much these are the only guys you got to fight for the save statue. Now, when you run down to the save statue, it's on like a timer. Like, it's not triggered by you pressing. Maybe there's 2 melee ninjas, my bad. But there's a huge group of enemies at the save statue. But if you just like run down to the save statue, that spawn is triggered by just standing in that area for an certain amount of time once all these guys are dead. So if you kill all these enemies and like you go on to the next area, that's the spawn trigger. So you do get a moment to save it. So definitely save it. What I did was I set the controller down. I got a glass of water or something, and then I heard the battle music going off in my room. I'm like, what the fuck? And I got killed. I'm like, shit, I have to restart from the fucking checkpoint. It's ridiculous. Anyway, just hit the save point. They give you like 5 seconds to do it, so it's not that hard. I like to get a true Dragon Gleam power charge up here. Jack that mage to fuck up right here. I fucked that guy up hardcore. So this was a really awesome fight. I got some really good footage here. I overdid the true Dragon Gleam, but who cares? It's such an awesome move. So this is a pretty tricky battle. So these are all the guys that you fought in the Ioni section. But now you're Ryu, and you're powerful. You got the level 4 sword. You can get beheadings. So this is a true fight. And I'm doing the true Dragon Gleam, so it's fitting. It's just, that move is so fucking awesome. That has got to be the most coolest, awesome movist. You can tell I really love this game when I can't even talk, because I'm so excited that I did well here. Yeah, so try to get the beheadings. The mages here, number 1 priority, followed by, in descending order, the melee ninjas, and then the right ninjas are the least of your priorities. Although, you know, you got to kill everything here. There's a lot of items here. There's going to be several. What are they called? Devil's. There's a lot of Devil's Way mushrooms. There's several lives here, herbs of spiritual lives, and 2 grains of whatever those fucking. I can't talk because I'm trying to watch this action here. But just remember that what I'm trying to say is don't waste too many things here, but it is okay to waste a couple of things. You can, I think there are 2 grains of spiritual life, so if you only have, or whatever the fuck that thing is called, I don't know, the grain sacks, those things. I think there's 2 of those, so if you only have 1 at this point, don't worry about it, because you can collect 2. Yes, there are 2. So don't worry if you have 1. That's plenty. Just don't, because I don't waste any healing items. I may have used 1 or something. Yeah, there's going to be some items to the right of this area. Okay, so this guy is. I'm sorry that guy had to drag his way over to me, but I had to get that kill off. So not only does it give you all that money from the red UT, but it does it in that really cool animation. So decided to, you know, for variety, shoot that guy with bow and arrows, hit this safe statue, switch over to the Kasarigama or the Vigorian Flare, whatever you want. Those 2 weapons are good for dealing with these undead fish in here. So head on over to the right and just plaster yourself against this wall. Shoot these fish, charge up, do the red UT if you can. If you can't, just blue is fine. And then it's going to be, these guys are really problematic. This is kind of difficult because you know your back is to the wall literally. So this chest sometimes it has fish, but I was getting like consistent drops here. So I would usually get money there, and this one usually would have fish. So I don't think you can manipulate these chests. But at this point in the game, I'm almost finished with this fucking game, and you know, at $1,000, having to backtrack and do it all over again, it's not really worth my time at this point. So I got 2 and 2 of those healing items, and that is in preparation for the fact that I'm getting 1 more grains of spiritual life upcoming, and there is a potential to get 3 herbs of spiritual life. So you know, don't hold back on using those, but don't use too many of them. That's all I need. So these sacks here, some of these sacks will just burst into nothing. But what I really like to do is kill a sack, and then I even like to kill this sack too, or at least go up in this area here and shoot the bow and arrow at the sack, at the ones that I know that the enemies are birthed from, however you want to think of it that way. And they take about 4 shots with the bow and arrow, and then just prepare a charge. It really works out well. It's not random, so the sacks that contain enemies are the same ones that they do every time. So if you can remember which ones contain enemies, you can really prepare yourself with a charge, and just, you know, greet these guys as a rival with a nice red UT to not only dispatch them really easily and really efficiently, but get that red UT and get more money. Just remember that you really got to do your best here because you're really trying not to use many items in preparation for the Acolyte battle. But I had no problems beating him. I beat him within 3 attempts. In all honesty, I thought it was going to take me forever, but it actually worked out well because I think I had suffered on him so often, so many attempts having to beat him in Chapter 4 that I knew what I was getting into. I knew how to beat him. I knew the patterns. Anyway, so I like to kill this sack anyway. It has nothing in it. And then shoot arrows into this sack. Here, some of them, it might not look like you can hit them. But just trying to move the reticule of that button down. This contains enemies, so prepare a charge. This one has a melee ninja in it. So just watch out for that guy. Did it? Maybe it didn't. Maybe the final one has a melee ninja in it. But the biggest thing to fear here is that the last sack has a shadow ninja Reietsu. But I figured out that you could just you could make him disappear by going into the last area. Then he just disappears. So I don't even fucking fight that guy. Since he doesn't even give you anything anyway as far as money. He might give you some health, but he's going to damage you anyway so much so that's just going to negate itself. You're going to get hit, but yeah, he's going to give you a health drop, but that doesn't even fucking matter because he's going to hit you probably to the point where you're almost going to be dead anyway. So just fucking ignore him. I'll show you how to just bypass that son of a bitch. So hop down here, do your slide down here, auto slide, head back against the wall. Some of the times, what I was trying to say is that sometimes you can't shoot the sacks with bow and arrows, but just move the arrow around. Move the sight reticule around to the edge of the sack, and you should be able to burst it. Some of them I found I don't think you can hit with anything other than the sword slashes. I don't really know. I don't think that's the case, but it seemed like it was the case sometimes, but it was not. It was kind of erratic the way it worked out. So just beware that there's one more little group of enemies. That one right there, that contains enemies. So just fall back, shoot your arrows into it. Maybe all of them can be destroyed with. Maybe I wasn't hitting him in the precise spot. So prepare your charge. Another melee ninja. So there's another set of 3 ninjas here with 1 melee ninja. And then there's going to be, I think, 2 more sacks. One that contains nothing, and then one that contains that shadow ninja Reietsu. And I apologize if I say that thing's name wrong every time. I don't know how to pronounce everything in this world. Yeah, but I will definitely show you how to bypass that son of a bitch because he either gives you no money, which he does practically every time, or he gives you just some health, which is bullshit. So just chop this sack up with your sword. Then there's one final one. Now that's the one that births this shadow ninja. No, maybe that one's empty too, my bad. And this one contains the Shadow Ninja Reietsu. So just jump him. He gives you a moment, he just does nothing. So just run to this area here, and once you hop into this area, bam, he disappears. And I was kind of lamenting the fact that a lot of enemies were disappearing in other videos, so I couldn't grind for money off them, but this is one instance where I'm glad that someone disappears. So grab that Grains of Spiritual Life. Hit the save statue down here. I was looking to see if there's any items over there. So we're on the Acolyte fight almost. This is a really not a long level whatsoever. It's a really fun level to be sure. And this is really cool, this area here. So this is the abyss that it's in the title, the titular abyss. So you want to grab this item here, some Ninpo. I actually didn't need any Ninpo on the boss, but there's 2 more items, and they're both herbs of spiritual life. And I think I actually maxed out on the final one. Oh, there's some fish. Fuck these fish, Really, I hate these fucking fish. Anyway, so there's a corpse. I zoomed in on him right there. I think I have 3 herbs of spiritual life, and that's why I think I couldn't get any items off this guy here. Let's see what happens. Yep, couldn't get anything. So I thought this was really cool, the design here. And then falling down is so cool. I mean, when you're playing this game, it's just so fucking awesome. That's just truly awesome. So Alexei here, he's got Sonya in prison, so we're gonna teach this guy a lesson. Basically, all you need to do is do the flying swallow here, and do the triangle combo a couple times if you want to. We have the Dragon Sword at level 4, so it's going to deal massive damage to this guy. This guy only took me 3 attempts, whereas the first time I ever fought this guy on Master Ninja mode, he took me like 100 tries. And that's probably why I was so skilled at beating him here, because I think he did grab me. No, he didn't even grab me this time. He does that grab where he does the same. I think this is like the same fight. My guide says that, the book that I own, it says that he is, quote, at full power, but you're at full power too, so it kind of cancels each other out and puts you at a really fair advantage here. So I would do the flying swallow and just do these combos here. If you get greedy with your triangle slashes when you're at him, he's probably going to grab you, so that's why I'm kind of just doing the flying swallow. And you could do 3 flying swallows, just bam, 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 do a lot of damage to this guy. Yeah, so basically this is the same exact fight as the stage 4 fight of him. And just thank God you don't have to fight any Statue of Liberty after this guy. He will go berserk when he loses. Okay, so yeah, I did have to lose a Talisman of Rebirth there, but I was kind of planning on that anyway. So now he's going berserk. So basically, just keep slashing at him. Just use healing items. He's not difficult.